Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh to some of you and peace out to the rest of you. You know who it ain't and who it is. It ain't your boy, it's your man, the blackest hearted, blackest minded, blackest man on social media. Signing black in, shining again, asking you to hit the share button because the message is more important than the messenger. That being said, darknesses, if you want to know who Black Mind will defend without screwing her or being related to her, Erica Leshai is an example. Erica Leshai is nice to look at, and that doesn't mean much to me except for what it means to her. She's willing to defend black men while she is young and nice to look at. Now, I don't know if she's got kids, but while she's young and nice to look at, she has not let this go to her head and make her arrogant. She will defend black men, and she said in the video, I defend black men and I get attacked every time I do it. I'm gonna keep on doing it though, because black men are hardly mentioned except to be held accountable. I'm asked, aren't we gonna hold these black men accountable? But while I'm being asked this question, I'm telling you that we only mention black men's names to hold them accountable, and then we don't want to point out the good things they do. Like running into burning buildings to save people or throwing themselves in front of bullets. And these are real situations to which he's referring. A black single mother was being harassed and her property vandalized by white racist neighbors, and her house was later surrounded by black men and black women, mostly black men, bikers, Bloods. You get the idea. Now, that being said, when it happens, there'll be one news story about it. When it doesn't happen, or even when it was just impossible, there will be plenty of social media posts and tweets about it. A black woman gets attacked because she's by herself and there are no black men around, and everybody's going to hear about how black men don't protect black women. Black men protect black women. There will be one or two news stories about it. Tyrone Muhammad's case really illustrated this. One or two newspapers carried the story. And I'm sure they only carried it to say that black men were destructive criminals. It wasn't the news stories that pointed out that it was two black officers. It was the video that pointed out that two black female officers showed up and hauled him off. I don't think that Erica Leshai would have shown up and taken this man to jail. Evidenced by the fact that she did not become a police officer. And when I say this, I don't want to hear you roll your neck, wag your head with the weave in it, and tell me that these sisters were trying to change the system from within. I don't want to hear that. And here's why. It doesn't work that way. Not with white folk. It just doesn't. They showed up as officers and they were not allowed to let him go. That means why even become a police officer? A white officer, a rookie, can show up, refuse to arrest a white person for a crime they committed against a black victim, keep his job. We know goddamn well black officers cannot show up and refuse to arrest a black suspect for something reported against a white victim or a non-black victim. So if you don't have that discretion, you can't change the system from within. Because right off the bat, the white rookie cop starts off with an advantage that the black rookie cop does not have. And that's not okay. That being said, understand that the strongest religion in the minds of many white and black people alike, especially many white folks, is white supremacy. It's a religion. Don't get it twisted. It is a religion to me just as idolatrous and false as Hinduism. Yeah, I said it. Or the old Babylonian faith. But what this means is that sometimes we tend to think that you have to change things from within. And oftentimes that's something that a lot of ladies would say. Now, I'm not saying that infiltration is not a part of warfare or self-defense. What I am saying is that, unfortunately, you can't change a lot of things from within. You certainly will not be able to change religion from within. A false religion. because it is exactly what they have done already to something else that was true. So when you turn around and try to do the same thing to that faith, try to infiltrate falsehood with truth, the infiltrators that already made it a false faith are already on guard against it. They're already on guard against the truth, which is why they infiltrated it to begin with. Now, that being said, Erica Leshai is an example. Some would say, yeah, but she's a pick-me. Exactly. So, brothers, if you hold her up as an example for other sisters, and they say, but she's a pick-me, then you say, yes, bitch, that's what you need to be. You need to be what you're calling a pick-me. And you need to be that when you're young and you're nice to look at and you got options. Because otherwise, if you wait until you lose these things, we don't know if it's sincere or not. And that's real. Erica Leshai is a type that seems to actually objectively value black men. I don't think she would let us off the hook when we actually do something wrong. But what I do imagine about her, based on what I've seen, is that she will make sure that we get a fair shake when we've done something right. She does not undervalue black men. And I don't think that she limits her value, the black men she does value, to just the negative stereotypes in the minds of white folks embodied in a real black man, the niggerilla. I don't think that. I don't think she says that's what it has to be. And if you're not Tretch from Naughty by Nature, then you're the same as Steve Urkel. I don't think it's that. Not in her mind. Now, some say, but see, Black, you keep bringing it back to mating and her mating selection. Well, I have to, because that's what family's built on. And I said yesterday, you must sexually select a man before he can be held accountable for children. End of story. Any man that does not get you wet and you know he doesn't get other sisters wet is the one that should be exempt from duties to children. And that's not what we're getting in the community. The ones that are being held responsible for kids are the same ones that would never be able to conceive them, because the women unanimously decide no. See, Erica Leshai is one that does not take a man and insult his very DNA with this, if she really respects black men, and she seems to. She doesn't seem to be one that would take a man that's generally a good guy and nothing seriously wrong with him, friend zone him, and then turn around and make sure that he doesn't get with anybody else either. She doesn't seem to be somebody that would do that. Now, if a guy's a good guy, if he's not your type, that's understandable. But the difference between a normal lady and a wicked witch of the West is that a normal lady would not try to stop him from getting with someone else that is attractive and has her own things going on. Something going on upstairs and outwardly. Whereas the wicked witch of the West, she'd love to friend zone the guy. Friend zone him and then make sure that he's every other woman's friend too, unless of course the woman's ugly as sin and he can't stay with her no way if he gets with her. That's the wicked witch of the West, and that's a lot of American women, white or black, especially sisters. I'm sure it's a lot of Canadians too, and a lot of black British women. Because when you're just not her type, but y'all can be friends as far as she's concerned, that's just her personal preference. That's a personal preference. When you're not her type, and you're not her friend's type, or you're her type, but you're not a friend's type, so she still friend zones you, with which I and Jay Cash have talked about. She is not simply saying you're not her type. She is insulting your DNA when she tries to make sure you don't get with anybody else either. She is insulting your very DNA. You're inferior. And most of your inferiority lies in your Y chromosome. That's what she'll do. Because of the extra leg on the Y chromosome that you're missing that would have made it an X and made you a woman, you're somehow inferior. That's how she views it. But in actuality, it's not just because you're a man, it's because you're a normal man. Erica Leshai does not project that type of image. So if you want to see brothers who even we can afford to defend, there you go. She's not sitting up talking about, I don't know no black man. Nothing. Niggas ain't never done nothing for me. They don't protect black women. She's not talking that stuff. Therefore, she'll defend you. It makes sense you can defend her. You're not stooping too low when you do such. Unless, of course, we find out a bunch of ratchet stuff about her later on. But right now, from the video that I've seen, from what I know, no. You're not stooping beneath yourself to defend her. That being said, thanks for listening. Black heart, black mind, blackout, and black heterosexual female pick-me power, specifically because the ratchets and the boom shikas and bonqueechers don't like it. Assalamu alaikum.